feeling like we're feeling here. We're feeling real good. We hope you're happy. Welcome again to another edition of Soul Issues, where the jazzy sounds coming up from the underground. I'm the host with the most, Reggie Saunders. And today, my guest comes all the way from Zurich, Switzerland. He's one of the jazz extraordinaires, one of the people that you're gonna meet, that you're gonna love, and you're gonna know who's behind that beautiful sound of the saxophone. Put your hearts and your hands together for Mr. Jazz, Patrick Bianco. Woo! Patrick, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm fine, thanks.
You're good?
Yeah.
Thank you, and I'm so glad that you could make it to the show.
Thank you
Soul
for
Issues, the
inviting
show
me.
that's all about soul, jazz, soul attitude. I know you embody all of that. So
Oh, that's fantastic.
I know that you embody all of that. So so you're coming from Zurich, Switzerland.
That's true. Yeah.
Zurich, Switzerland.
I'm
but
born here.
Huh?
I'm born here.
You're born
Yeah.
in Zurich, Switzerland. All right. Born and bred in Zurich, Switzerland. Wow.
Sure.
So, but from what I've heard about you and read about you, you're one of those type of people that you don't let the grass grow under your feet. You know what I mean by that? You're born and living in Zurich, but of course before the pandemic and all of that, you were traveling all over. So China. Give me some of the places you played or different spots you played in.
Yeah, I mean, Europe almost everywhere.
Okay.
And then a little bit further, I would say Russia. That's
Okay.
That was special for me. Of course, China.
Okay.
That's real special somehow.
Right.
The culture is so different.
Really?
And they ask for jazz, but actually it's a little different than what I think jazz is.
Okay,
But
okay.
It's a still nice feeling.
But they appreciated your...
Yeah, very much. Sure. Yeah.
Always claps, applause, and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nice people.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And so, I guess jazz is really your, how can I say, your real niche or your real, if you would say of all the music genres, jazz would be your thing.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
Okay.
I felt it from the beginning.
Okay.
That there must be something special about music.
Okay.
So, like when I first listened to music, I listened to the Beatles, and then like later on, it was Michael Jackson, not so bad too, but I was always like searching for something else.
Got you.
And then when I was 12, then I really came into this genre, into jazz, and that was kind of an explosion for me, like boom, wow, that's what I waited for.
Wow. Now,
yes.
did you see this on TV, or you heard it on the radio, somebody gave you a record, or
Yes.
family, or all of the above? I don't know.
No, family, not at all. So, like, I don't come from a music family.
Okay.
But friends, I was inspired by friends because we
Okay.
did some music. I was in a marching band, something like this.
Okay.
So, but I played also in a big band when I was 12. So I started with big band, and then we went to a weekend. We were off at the mountains with some friends, and I was lucky that my friends, they were older than me.
Okay.
So they took me,
Mm-hmm.
and like at that weekend, we shared records.
Okay.
And there was a record with Campbell Adderley. And
Wow,
that's my first time I really heard this kind of
Okay.
music, and that was like boom. And like, yeah, the older friends, they listened to that kind of music, and it inspired me so much.
It's interesting you say that, because I talked to a lot of young musicians, and I said, do you know this artist or that artist? And they said, well, I'm only 20. How should I know? Do research. There's YouTube, there's Google, there are books. If you really want to know about kind of the roots of different genres of music,
Yeah.
you can always go back and do research. So it's, people always say, it's like, well, I'm not that old. You don't have to be that old. You didn't have to see that person live. You can actually do research, and then maybe get a connection of why you like the music you like today or where it came from.
Yeah.
That style of music. So you were a young pup, if you will, with running with the wolves, and so and so you just got into it that way. So was your story a little bit like Quincy Jones in the sense of you had all of these old cats doing their thing, and you say, I can play the horn. You guys need a horn player, or how did you get into a band? How did that start?
Actually, I played in this marching band or this classical orchestra. That were my roots. So I learned to play the instrument kind of in a classical way.
Okay.
So I had the control of my instrument, but in this band, it was in Zurich, and there was integrated into this band was a big band.
Okay.
So people from the orchestra, from the classical orchestra, they played, if they want to, also in this big band.
Okay.
And then, to play big band, it's almost the same. It's another feeling, but you read music.
Right.
But then suddenly at a concert, then like the leader, he points on me and said, "Well, you stand up and play a solo." And I was like, "Oh my God, what should I do?" So I jumped right into
Wow.
the
Wow.
profound water or the cold water.
That's how they do. They throw you in, swim or sink.
Yeah,
It's like, wow.
So and then I don't know if I swam, but I tried to, and then I tried to learn songs. I transcribed Parker solos.
Nice.
Charlie Parker. So
nice.
that was my first big hero.
Okay.
And so I tried to to get into this language. Actually, it's a language. This type of music.
Absolutely.
And I always played then beside of that band with my friends.
Right.
So we just played, 3 of us, 4 of us. We just tried to improvise a little bit. And then, of course, I had a teacher, and so I developed, and suddenly then I went to a jazz school then, but much later.
Okay. So actually in between that, of course, you developed a following and different people, other than, some, because normally when we start, it's like our first audience is like mom or dad or the dog or the cat or something, some animal we're playing with outside, imaginary friend or whatever like that. But you developed so the people that you played with, were they older than you in the sense of like when you started a band, when you like started to, were you the youngest, or would you say,
no,
or did you?
Yeah, I was always a little younger than the average or that the other guys, but still it was kind of a school program. Okay. So like it's something within this education system.
Absolutely.
So if you're in this band, this classical orchestra, you can spend more time on your instrument. So then go on Wednesday there and you play with this big band, and then you have fun just playing this music. And then I developed like the improvisation language.
Right. Exactly.
And so that for a long time I always played big band, because I could read music.
Right.
And then I played some small solos in between, and I did that for many years.
Oh, nice.
And then when I started with the jazz school, that's the like the starting point, the really starting point, where I like put a real jazz combo together, like a quartet, a quintet.
Okay.
And then I was more focused on the improvisation side.
Nice.
So I never played in front of the dog or like
right.
the birds or whatever. So it was from the beginning a real band with just small solos in between.
Let me ask you this as an artist. When you first got bitten by the bug of music, of jazz per se, was it like, did you eat, sleep, drink, date, jazz? Was the saxophone your first lady? Let me know.
The feeling was kind of, it's something inside. It just, I explode somehow because I was waiting for something else. So I knew I knew inside that there must be something out there which I appreciate or which I don't know yet.
Right.
And suddenly when I heard this type of music, that was kind of an explosion, like wow, that was always inside me, and now I know what it is this genre, this type of music which touches me.
Absolutely.
So that was like, oh wow. And then I listened to the same records so many times. That was a Cannonball Adderley record, and it was a soul record because that's kind of easy to understand, this music. So that's also a very important thing, because then I started listening to other saxophone players like Dexter Gordon, and I didn't like it. John Coltrane, all these guys, it was too complex. I mean, I was 15 by then. I said, well, it's not a sound what this guy plays. He has no chops, and this is because I was kind of this classical saxophone player with this nice tone. And I said, well, what is he doing? That's wrong. And like a few years later, 2-3 years later, I listened to the same record again, and then I was like, whoa, what is this? This is
clicked.
So deep.
It
so
clicked.
it needs a long time, I would say, to get into that music. But the feeling, like what it felt to me, that was there from the beginning. But I didn't understand it.
Okay.
So it took me a while to get deeper and deeper, and the deeper you dive, the more open it is.
Absolutely, 1000%.
Yeah.
Now, as far you mentioned schooling, where did you do your schooling? You did it here?
Yeah, I
Zurich,
started in Zurich.
Okay.
And then I went to Bern.
Okay.
So the professional school, like the bachelor and master's, it didn't exist by then, but I did it in Bern.
Okay.
That was the type of school I wanted to go, because I wanted to learn this language, this bebop language.
Absolutely.
I was into that, and by then, it's now 15 years ago, this was the place to go to learn that specific type of jazz.
So it was either Bern or Birdland. And Birdland, Birdland was gone. So unfortunately, so it was Bern or Birdland. Cool. So all right. So take me on the journey with different places you played. What do you feel that you got a better, not just reaction, but a better, from your point of view, understanding of jazz, of what you were, giving out to people? Where do you feel did you feel you got a better reaction of understanding in Switzerland, or in Russia, or in China, or in other parts of Europe, or?
No, actually, there's no difference.
Okay.
Somehow.
Okay.
I think the music I played was always, I was just lucky, but it touched people.
Right.
So always when I played like with big bands or with my band, the audience was prepared for that kind of music.
Okay.
So I always I was kind of also preparing myself, because when I play with the band, then I put something together, kind of a program, so people know what they can expect from this music.
Exactly.
So but when I started with my first band, it was called Albone. So it was a saxophone and trombone. That's why the name is alto, and bone, trombone.
Nice.
And there was a bass player and a drummer. So no harmony instrument. That was kind of a strange thing, because we tried to play standards.
Okay.
But I arranged it so
Right.
that listeners can really follow the melody
Okay.
and the chords, even without any chord instrument, no
Right.
piano, no guitar. And there I could feel that, like in Bern, compared Bern and Zurich, that people were more open in Bern. So I could really feel it that they were used to more experimental things.
Exactly.
And I mean, you see there every second person wearing an instrument.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
on the street.
Right.
So that I could really feel that's a little different. So I adapt the program a little bit and did some other tunes for Zurich, but that was only at the beginning.
Cool.
Then when I play with my other bands right now, then I just do what I really feel, and I mean there's always people like it and a few others.
Of
they
course, you're gonna
probably
have that, and but this is why I always say that it's the first person you should really play for is yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you feel it and you're sincere with your feeling, that's going to spill over, if
Yeah.
you will,
Yeah.
to touch other people. This is
Sure.
what I find.
Yeah.
Let's go to the board here. We got a couple of questions here.
Oh.
Someone wants to ask, yeah, how old is your saxophone?
My saxophone, this one. Okay, good question.
Would you say? What would you say?
I would say it's about around 44, something like this.
Okay. Okay.
It's handmade from Paris. It's a Selmer Mark 6
Yes.
with like they have some numbers.
Okay.
Like the series number, and is a 64,000, and it's a pretty good number. So you can also say about the number if it's a good instrument or should be a good one. So this is a really rare one.
So I have a question about a saxophone, or really any instrument, but basically saxophone since we have it here. Is it better? Is there a time? I'll put it like this: is there a period that needs to be before it has that sound that you're looking for? Does it have to be broken in, as they say? Like when you have a pair of shoes, you break them in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or can you just get it right off the top?
No, I think doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
It doesn't.
Matter.
Okay. There's no. Okay.
No, but for me, because I have like small fingers, like the very old instrument, they are a little like tricky to play because the fingerings they are more narrow or at another spot. So and this flows very good. So I'm happy with this one, but actually it doesn't matter. So.
Well, being that this show is called Soul Issues, and the majority of the show is about music, can we give them a taste of what we just finished talking about?
Okay.
The saxophone?
Okay.
Can
Yeah,
we,
sure.
Can we start? We can give them a taste. Something of your choice, a ballad or no. Give me some of that. You said about that. Not salsa, but what was it? What was that salsa? What was that you were
Samba.
playing? Samba.
A samba.
Samba.
Yeah.
You were doing it earlier.
No, I just play a samba.
Play a samba.
Okay.
I have a shaker somewhere.
Do you have a shaker?
Somewhere.
Oh, great. That's cool. Salt. That's
I have a salt shaker.
salt. Salt and peanut. Okay, let's see. This is standard.
cool. That was what was that?
Samba de Orfeo.
Samba de Felo.
Samba de Orfeo.
Beautiful. Let's go to a couple more questions here. Instagram could be up a bit more, but I don't think we have any questions as of yet. Or maybe we do. We got some highs, got some hellos. Do you see it? Over here on Instagram, other side? The other side, Instagram.
Who is the greatest saxophone player of all time?
Yeah, who would you say is the greatest, in your opinion? I know that's hard. I mean, that's
so hard.
You're going to leave out so many people.
I mean, no, it's no way to point one. I mean, of course, I like so much Campbell Adderley, Charlie Parker, Dexter Gordon is great. Like John Coltrane, it's really deep.
It's hard to say.
It's so hard. And I mean, now I just named the real jazzy one. I mean, there are so many other kinds of styles which have fantastic saxophone players. Also, like in pop, there's so many great cats.
Speaking of Cannonball Adderley, let's talk about him a little bit here. Tell me about this man right here. This is the focus artist of the day.
Okay.
Cannonball Adderley, right there. You can see him
what
right
a
here.
picture.
Wow. This is him with I'm sure one of his favorite instruments, favorite ladies or gentlemen, whatever. Tell me how this man inspired you with his playing and.
Yeah, that's like what I said before. So the time when it makes like boom to me was a record of him.
Okay.
Like Cannonball in the Capitol years, like with Mercy Mercy and all these songs from the 60s around. So, but because this guy is a sunny guy, so he feels so deep to me, and when he plays, it's so natural. It's kind like the most natural instrument you can have is actually it's singing. So because that comes direct.
Absolutely.
And beside that, you always have an instrument. So it's not you actually direct. So you're communicating through an object, something else, a piano, a guitar, saxophone. But when he plays, it feels so natural. So this is one. The person with the instrument, and I could feel it and I could hear it through the music, and that's really it's not the thing he played, but it's just this sound and the groove. Actually, it's the groove, it's the body. So I could see him shaking and moving. I could like feel the love, the soul in it. And soul is something so deep. Absolutely. It doesn't matter if you say soul as a style. What is soul? Everywhere is soul. It could be in bebop, could be in pop music, could be I don't know. So and he has just such a huge heart,
Absolutely, 1,000%,
and it's so positive. The music is so positive because when I listen to the radio, I mean, like the emotional thing about music is it's also the tonality, and 80% of music is in minor, so it's dark, and so that makes like the feelings are there. Absolutely. But he wrote or played tunes always in this happy feeling. Right. So and there are not that many songs which they have like this drive and this happiness and this positive thing.
Yeah, I was listening to a little bit of him before, and we're gonna do one soon. Mercy. Oh, yeah. Mercy. There's 3 mercies, right?
Three.
That's right. I mean, we can add a couple more. Mercy me. But it's interesting. I could guess I would say a saxophone colleague of yours and a friend of yours, and also a good friend of mine. Pios Baumgartner.
Oh.
When we play, hey Pios, hope you're watching. When I've heard him play, or when we play together in different formations,
Yeah.
We came up with this thing called the Holy Groove.
Uh-huh.
And actually now first it was only Pios and myself that knew it, and now you and the world knows it. The Holy Groove, and it's exactly along the lines of what you were talking about. It's really about how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
The soul. Yeah. It's so many artists talked about it. For example, James Brown talked about it. Said. Who was it? Who was that? Maceo Parker, and there was who was a trombone? Trombone player.
Yeah, from his band, Matthew Parker's band.
No. From Fred Wesley.
Oh, okay.
Fred Wesley. So I think Fred Wesley is something like that. I was asking. James Brown said, James was saying, well, this is how I want the music to go. And Fred was saying something like, well, actually, it just doesn't follow musically. It's not like the normal direction that the music goes. Yeah. And James Brown said, does it feel good? Does it make you move? Does it feel good? Do you feel something when you, yeah. Well, then play it. It's music.
Then it's the right thing.
This is right. Yeah. And it goes exactly to what you were saying before. It's a language. Yeah. It's how can you feel it? Yeah. The language. You don't have to understand. You can go, this is what I was asking before. You can go to China and not speak a word of Chinese and just play your saxophone. Everyone will understand what you're talking about. Yeah. You can go to Japan. You can go to Russia. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Yeah. And this is the thing about the language of music that other languages can't really say. They don't have that how can I say that that collective understanding, an animal can understand it. It's like when you're playing, to me, I want to ask you this, when you're playing, say for example, an audience, whatever, do you also notice that kids are the first ones that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, people, they are moving. If the first reaction on good music, I would say it's dancing. So it makes you like moving. So
children are the ones that they get, and you just see them like this. Yeah. And I see sometimes it's like you're playing somewhere, and mom and dad says, "Come on, Johnny, come on, we want to go," and Johnny says, and Johnny wants to dance, and this is I was talking to someone about this the other day, and maybe you can expound on it, talk about it, about the innocence that we lose when we become quote unquote adults, and we don't have time for that. You know what I'm talking about? And I think as an artist, we still have that. Yeah. For whatever reason, that innocence, that thing inside of us that still glows, that beacon that smiles. And can you talk about that a little bit?
Sometimes it loses a little bit by being professional. Also. Because we know a lot of theory, and then it goes a little away, but still it's always there somehow. But it's a good thing, because I think it's very important to learn also music, same as you learned a language. So first you talk, you just repeat, and then you cannot write, but you can talk. Absolutely. And like after a while, you understand what you're talking, not right away, but a little later. And I would say it's the same with music. And like the nice compliment I've got was, I mean, I got it a few times actually at a concert. So we played our music. I mostly play with a quintet, classical quintet, trumpet, saxophone, drums, bass, piano. And it's a nice compliment if someone says like, "Oh, that was my first concert." and my first jazz concert, and I really liked it. So it's nothing nicer than that. And
Absolutely.
I would say that says everything, because
Absolutely.
also adults, they probably don't know exactly what's going on
Right.
sometimes if they're not into that music. But I would say if they listen to the right, I mean, there's no right and false, but to the specific sound which makes you dance and where soul is in it,
Absolutely.
then people feel it.
Absolutely.
And that's the cool thing about music. You can really touch people. And I would say the same person, you can put it to as another concert.
Right.
And he will also like this.
Absolutely.
Even if it's completely different.
Absolutely.
As long as, like, the musician on stage, they produce something which it comes from them.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And what I like to say with that, just to add to what you're saying, is that I find that the older we become, or the more quote unquote sophisticated that we become, we move further away. It shouldn't have to be, but seemingly we seem to move farther away from that innocence, that thing that we used to enjoy so much without any inhibitions, you know? And sometimes I look at people, it's like, for example, when they come to shows or go to concerts in different places, and they're too cerebral, if I'm saying that word right. There's too much in the head, and they're less in the heart. But
it also can change. So I realized that after certain years, you lose a little bit this kind of innocent thinking or feeling, but still you gain more experience.
True, right, that comes.
And because of gaining more experience, you're still fresh.
Okay.
So sometimes I would say, wow, I practice less than before because other things to do, family and so I should be less good than like 3 years ago because I played much more, I practiced much more. So why do I feel still getting always like increase a little bit?
Right, exactly.
I would say it's because of the experience. When I listen to music different, everything influences me more.
Right.
So this is kind what's fresh all the time.
But the thing is that you don't have to lose that innocence to have that. This
true.
is what I'm saying.
True.
You know, in that respect.
Sure.
I don't really see the time. I'm looking for the time, what time it is. But I know it's getting tick-tock, tick-tock. What time? Do you have the time? What time is it?
It's 35.
35?
Yeah.
Good grief, man. I told you it goes by so fast. I told you.
Wow.
All right, let's get into a little bit more. Little Mercy, Mercy, Mercy.
Okay, let's play.
Let's give the people what they want to hear.
Actually, it's always a closer to get people out.
This is true. Yeah. All right.
1,
And
2,
I'll just
3, 4.
Oh yeah. Whoa. Ba, 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 yeah. Whoa, yeah. Uh-huh. Why is it every time, like, back in the bebop days, people say, yeah, yeah, you know, say, yeah, cool, man, yeah, I don't know, everyone talk like this, yeah. I don't know, it just seemed like that, and not like all of the movies or the different, the different.
Yeah.
But no, cool, man, cool. So okay, I know that you went on tour with Claude Diallo a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Tell me
That's
about
it.
that a little bit. How was that for you? Did you have fun?
Yeah, I mean, Claude Diallo, he's amazing.
Shout out to Claude. Yes, Claude.
No, he's a good friend.
Found
of
a
mine.
new home.
Yeah. Yeah, he did a recording. I found a new home. I played with him several times, and actually, I met him not that long ago.
Okay.
I would say about 3 years or 4 years.
Okay.
So it's he's a new friend actually.
Okay.
And he joined a concert we were playing with the program, like it was Canon Soul, that was my band.
Okay.
Remembering Cannonball Adderley, we did a festival gig in where was it? In St. Gallen.
Okay.
He joined the concert and he was like, wow, that's great that you're here playing this music. And then he checked me out and he contacted me, said, well, let's do something together. It was just amazing. I mean, so he's such friendly, and then we just put something together. No, actually that was not us. Another guy. He booked us together because this guy knew him and me.
Okay.
So, and he said, well, I want to do a concert, and it must be like Claude Diallo on piano and me on saxophone.
Right.
And then Claude put also a rhythm section together, a bass player and a drummer, and we did that gig, and it worked fantastic. So, and that became just a kind of a musical and personal relationship.
Cool.
We did a lot of duo stuff too, and even like a jazz concert in duo. This is not so easy because to entertain an audience for a whole evening just with two instruments, so you really need to be like flexible and that it's not boring all the time, the same sounds. That was fun. And then we did this tour in China 2 years ago. Okay. So actually he put everything together, and he lived in China too, and this was great.
Really?
So to be on tour with him, to hang and just because he can speak Chinese.
He said, I said, my God, man, this guy, you're talking about being versatile. My God. Well, he speaks very highly of you.
Really?
Very highly of you. He told me, he says, hey, you must get in contact
he's too
with
friendly.
Patrick.
He's too friendly.
No.
He always honors his musician. I mean, this is also something I never saw this. I mean, he has so much respect of
this
his
is what
musician,
I'm saying.
and this is what I have too, because when I play with people, and I'm usually the band leader. I put everything together.
Right.
I do the tour by myself.
Right.
I write the music, or I transcribe it, or I arrange it, whatever. So actually the musician, they only have to come and play. This is what they have to do, basically. And I care about everything else beside that. But I mean, this is a musician, and so I have so much respect of what he's doing, and so I'm just thankful, and that's what he is too. So he has so much.
Absolutely, and this is what I'm saying. He's the type of person that doesn't just throw out whimsically compliments or says somebody's good or somebody. It has to touch him. He's one of these type of people. Yeah. And I believe you're that type of person too. From what you said, You know, you.
So we stick together so close, but actually now we don't play that much.
Who does?
But I do here.
I mean, we do
bit,
here.
Yeah.
This is why Soulacious exists, man.
Yeah, that's great.
This is a platform.
Thank
You're
you
very
so much.
welcome. This is why I have you here. One of the reasons.
Fantastic.
So, let me ask you this. Okay, as far as saxophone, I know is that your only instrument that you play, or do you play other instruments, or?
No, actually, it's the saxophone. Of course, I play a little bit of tenor. I did some musical stuff. So I need to switch from saxophone to flute to clarinet.
Okay.
But yeah, and I taught a little bit, so I was on the piano.
Okay.
These are the instruments you have to know a little bit, but mainly it's the alto. So
What would you say that the saxophone is closest to? What other instrument would you say that would be closest to, as far as feeling and sound? That would be, would it be guitar? Would it be piano? Would it be drums? Would it be?
I would say no other instrument.
No, okay.
Because if you, like, I realized it in the classical orchestra. I mean, probably everyone will kill me when I get out when I say this, but I mean, I heard it when they tune. So trumpet, burp, next one, burp, next one, burp. So it was okay. It sounds always the same.
Right.
Then saxophone, and then different sound. Every saxophone player or every saxophone sounds different. So that's, I think I cannot put the saxophone to another type of instrument which comes close. I mean, of course, the fingering is similar to the flute, to the clarinet, but not sound-wise.
Right. So what, say there's a young lad or young lassie out there listening to the show, watching the show, and would be interested in learning saxophone. What would you recommend? Would you recommend alto first, tenor first, or flute, or clarinet, or what would you recommend that they start with?
It depends on the how old this person is, because
let's say 6 to 10. 6 or 10 in that direction.
Okay, if you're a kid, then I would suggest
starting
starting with piano or drums, something completely different. So you get like the harmony part.
Gotcha.
And then switch, because I had once a 9 years old kid, and so she was very good picking up the saxophone, and then she should start with the alto, because tenor is too big. So if you're small, you can only start with this one, and the smaller one, the soprano, it's also harder to blow.
Right.
So sometimes it works, sometimes not. So it really depends on how big or tall the person is. And I would suggest also, clarinet is also a good starting instrument, and then switch to saxophone, because you can not switch back somehow. And if you play the clarinet for 1 or 2 years, then you can play it forever if you play saxophone, and then you have good techniques. But I started with the saxophone, and
straight away.
Don't regret it. So
you don't regret it at all. You don't.
No, time is or life is too short to play.
I agree with you 1,000%. I agree
different
with you 1,000%.
instruments.
As a singer, it took me a little while longer to appreciate instruments other than this instrument.
Yeah.
You know, but man, do I appreciate it now. I listen.
Yeah.
And by listening to, let's say the saxophone, let's say the guitar, let's say the piano, or the bass, by listening to these instruments, not only does it put me in the right mood that I need to be in, but it also helps me with pitch, with direction. You know, and I think a lot of, how can I say, musicians in the sense, they kind of like, not musicians in the sense, but, or singers, let's say, for example, you hear something on the radio. Oh, I can do that. Yeah. But you don't know the roots, you know, and you miss out on so many of the things that could actually put you more in your comfort zone, and you don't have to think, okay, that note is coming. That it's all in the band.
Yeah.
All the notes the saxophone is playing it.
Yeah.
The guitar is playing it. The piano's right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So for me, it was as a front person, as a singer, lead singer. I was always until I really understood the how can I say? Until I really understood the benefits or the strength of the importance, let's put it like that, of the instruments. I was only relying on what I had in my head.
Yeah.
But when I actually gave way
Yeah.
and opened that, that's whoa. Yeah. It's right here.
Yeah.
It's almost like, you're searching for something, people say, well, I got to go out and find myself.
Sure.
And you go somewhere, you go
also your ears.
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
this is what happens.
Right, and you go out and you find,
yeah.
you go somewhere
Yeah.
and you look at, it's right. You don't have to go anywhere. It's right here.
Yeah, but it happens with the saxophone too. When you start, or when I started, then I was focused on the instrument. I play with other, like in the band, I could not hear the other guys. But suddenly I developed, and then I realized what the other guys are playing.
Right.
And so the deeper you get, the more it opens it up for everything. So
right.
I think that has something to do with development. And
Absolutely.
And the ear and the feeling, everything together goes, moves you further.
Cool. I want to know a little bit more about your understanding of music, of the language of music. In the world that we're in today with, geez, man, I mean, hey, you got all kinds of things pulling and pushing us in so many different directions.
Yeah.
What do you feel, or where do you feel music has its place, as far as like I don't know, like a big brother, a big sister? I mean, why is it so important? I've tried to explain this to different people, but maybe you can give your take. Why is it so important that music is in everyone's life in some form?
Okay, that's hard, because I never thought about that, because I always know it's important for me. So, and then because it's important for me, I express what I really want to express, and that touches other people.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes probably less. Or
Right.
But I never did music to touch other people and to make like them think about, music is really important. I think everyone knows it or feels it that's important.
You think so?
Yeah, I would say so, because when I go out the street, then everyone is wearing like headphones, and people they want and they need music. So that's what I feel. It's not that people need to think about that. It's just something natural. It is there. They don't think about, but I think probably music, because it's on another layer. It's another level. It's nothing spoken. It's nothing you can explain. It's just a feeling. And I think people are searching for that, because now in these days, or it doesn't matter which days,
right?
But it was always there, and I think it's always a part of everyone, of every human being. It needs to be there, and there must be something there, which is not religion, which is not like something abstract too.
Absolutely. Okay.
Something like music, but the cool thing about music, it goes really inside the heart. So it really touches people, and there are so many kind of now of genre and styles. So people they hear it everywhere, music, so they can say, well, this is what I'm interested in. And
I agree with you 1,000%. And what I would add to that is that to capsulize it, music is the rhythm of the heart.
So yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, sure.
It's like the rhythm of the heart. It's that, so, but going back again to what we were talking about before, sometimes we become too, I won't say intellectual, but we become so, we're so advanced that sometimes somehow or another we use the head more than the heart.
Yeah.
Or we use the head first.
Yeah.
Instead of the heart first. I'm a firm believer that it's important that the correct way is to use the heart first, and then have the head, if it needs to be there, to maybe intellectualize it, if you will, a little bit, refine it, to guide the heart in one way. But the heart should be first, and to me, the heart is music. That's and it doesn't matter, as you said, which genre music is, whatever form it is, and whether people know it or not. Walking, speaking, sounds, whatever, like this. Even the sounds that when you're playing somewhere and people says, cut all that noise out, turn that noise down. To me, it's like they're kind of turning their own, their life down, in the sense that, because music is a heartbeat. Yeah. It is what gives one the will to continue to move on. Even for example, if you talk about back in Charlie Chaplin times, there weren't any spoken words, but there was music. Yeah. Music relayed what he was about to do. Ba-da-ba-ba, oh, bop, boom. Bop, boom. So you knew exactly what was going to happen through music. So to me, I would say, I don't know if you would concur, but music or sound was the first language. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't. I don't. If I was there, I don't remember. But
you were not there. Or you were there, and now you're reborn, and you know it.
I know. Let's give the people one more, because we're, believe it or not, we only have 4 more minutes.
Oh,
and the show is
kidding.
over. Yeah, I told you it goes by fast, man.
So then,
have to have you back again. Have to have you back again.
So then, let's give the audience a smile.
Let's give them a smile. Let's give them a smile. Let's put on the board here, a smile.
I love your smile.
I love your smile. Let's see what's going to come on the board. I can get the lyrics. So but all right, let's go for it. Do it again. Yeah. Woo. Check it out. Sitting in my class, staring at it away, staring into the windows of the world. I can hear the teacher and his books that calm it all. I don't hear the bad boys trying to catch the blame, but I love your smile. Woo. I said, I love your smile. Play, Patrick, play. Oh, yeah. I love your smile. Woo! I really like it. Said, I love your smile. Yeah. Let's try a verse again. Sitting in my class, just drifting away, staring into the windows of the world. I can't hear the teacher in his books at all. I don't see the bad boys checks that play, but I love your smile. Woo! Said I love your smile. Oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another edition of Soul Issues. Please, special thanks to my guest today, Patrick Bianco, and his amazing saxophone playing. And of course, the one and only focus artist, Mr. Cannonball Adderley. Yes. So I want to say thank you very much again. I am the host with the most, Reggie Saunders. So until next time that we meet, please keep it safe, keep your heart beating, and don't forget, heart comes before the head. All right? Especially in the music world. Peace and love, Soul Issues, Reggie Saunders. We love you. Out.